to remove Trump before he destroys the rest of the White House in America. It is time today to remove Trump before he destroys the rest of the White House in America. So Trump has destroyed half the White House, and I'm just trying to see if anybody's even half as American as I am, and they care about it. I did see a video, Net and YouTube put a video on the top of my suggested page where somebody's claiming to care about the White House, but one of the things he says is, I'm not even angry about it, I'm just sad. It's like, well, you know what? You can be sad about it, but you should also be angry about it. How you can not be angry about it, to me, indicates you're not really American, or you're accepting some type of post-American Trump fascism. Don't accept it. If you're talking about it, be talking about how we stop it. So I'm already talking about how we need to stop Trump, but of course, Net and YouTube's not going to show my content about this to anyone. No one good is going to do anything about it. Everybody good, supposedly good, is going to take half measures and only talk about, I don't know how they're sad. I saw another suggested video was from a reporter, and her report was basically, I have photos of me and my family standing in front of the building that's not here anymore. I've taken so many pictures of the East Wing of the White House when it used to exist. And, I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's news. It's letting people know that he's destroying the White House. But what's the reaction to that news? What's the point of even triggering people with this news? And I don't think that they understand the result of playing in people's faces like this. What's the result of triggering people with the news that are knocking down half the White House if you're not going to say, and we followed up on the reporting of the people who are going to stop this effort? I don't know, the historic preservation of DC or something, the committee that he was supposed to consult about any alterations or whatever. Like, Democrats, DC officials, like anybody who's standing up to him, who's stopping him. And if they don't present any mechanism of anybody officially stopping him, people will stop him. People will say, hey, I've taken umbrage at the fact that you've knocked down half the White House. People who already dislike him for destroying our country in other ways will see the symbolism of knocking down the White House and act upon that. And people that supported him in other ways will see the symbolism of him knocking down the White House and act upon that. Because anybody who's paying attention, who's not trying to coddle him with the reporting of the story, will admit that this is an attack on America. Everything else he's done is an attack on America too. But knocking down half the White House is the kind of attack on America that, only one group has done this before. I think the British burned our White House down during the War of 1812. And I'm pretty sure the slaves made that White House that they burned down, and I'm pretty sure slaves made the White House that they built in its place, the White House we currently have. And that's probably one of the reasons why Trump's destroying it, because he's trying to erase, all contributions of black people, and the White House qualifies as a contribution of black people. So Trump's going to destroy it. That's probably like a bonus in his mind. He's probably the main reason for destroying the White House. It's not for a ballroom. They could put the ballroom somewhere else if they wanted to. They could make the ballroom a different shape. The ballroom wasn't supposed to be on top of the White House anyway. Whatever. I'm pretty sure he's knocking down the entire White House for Putin. Like, it's just a flex. It's just to show that he can. It's just to show that he can get away with it. It's just to show how many people he's got controlled, how many people he's got, so that when we look back on the fact that he destroyed the White House, that'll be one of the things he's done that shows how much Putin has won in destroying America. And all the people who helped him and didn't stop him are guilty of it too. But the way I've been talking about it is, are we going to stop him before he chops down the Washington Monument like a cherry tree? Are we going to stop him before he turns the Lincoln Memorial into a manure style for his manure carpet bombings? Are we going to stop him before he turns the Jefferson Memorial into a humidor for his crowns? Are we going to stop him before he turns the Vietnam Memorial into a poop plane parking place, a parking place for his poop plane and his Qatari jet? Are we going to have a White House? What are we going to have? A White House or Trump? Like, it's time to decide which one you want, America or Trump, the rest of the White House or Trump. We already lost the East Wing, okay? He's destroyed the East Wing. I'm looking for anybody who's even half American as I am while we still have half a White House left. Okay, Net and YouTube, I'm not looking for the Nazi Trump Putineers you always shove into my live. I'm not looking for them. I'm looking for anybody who's even half as American as I am while we still have half of a White House. We have half of a White House. We've lost half of our White House because of Trump, Trump-Boutonniers, everybody who defended him, and everybody who didn't say anything. Everybody who didn't do anything are the least guilty, but you're still guilty. Everybody who defended Trump destroyed half of our White House. Everybody who didn't stop Trump destroyed half of our White House. Everybody who was in a position to stop Trump and did not stop Trump destroyed half of our White House. That makes you all traitors, okay? You've destroyed half of our White House. That means you're traitors. Everybody who helped him is a bigger traitor than everybody who didn't do anything, but everybody who didn't do anything is a traitor too. You know by now he's destroyed half of our White House. What have you done about it? Looking for anybody who's even half as American as me while we have half of a White House left. I've been talking about this. We could have saved the White House. We could have saved the East Wing if we'd stopped Trump. We could have saved a lot of human dignity and American reputation if we'd stopped Trump months ago. If we'd stopped Trump years ago. We could have saved a significant part of the suffering that's going on. I mean, I'm talking about the total suffering going on in America. We could have saved 50% of it if we'd stopped Trump years ago and never even had to worry about him. If he wasn't even a threat. If he wasn't even the lowest bar ever that, you know, for Biden had to be just better than the worst thing ever, was the lowest bar they had set to keep our standards and expectations as low as possible. If they'd arrested Trump and another challenger had approached, they would have had to be better than that other challenger. Instead, they had to be better than the very worst person that we had, and they tried to not be too much better than him. They tried to make sure they didn't stop the genocide. They could have stopped the genocide. Even though Trump made a deal with Netanyahu to keep it going, Biden still could have stopped it. But he didn't, just like he didn't stop Trump, which to me has always been the strongest indications that Biden was also a Putin plant. And that, yeah, it's taken a couple of administrations, but now they've gotten to the point where, you know, one playing good guy, one playing bad guy, and now one playing what he really is, a fascist Nazi traitor. And they've gotten to the point where they've destroyed half of our White House. And Net and YouTube's protecting them. We definitely need to seize Google. We need to nationalize Google, because Google has contributed to this ballroom, and Google is the one choosing the way they moderate Net and YouTube, the way they make sure that anybody who's talking about, oh, I'd say this is probably, you know, yeah, Trump's starting a war in Venezuela, Trump's doing his concentration camps, Trump's doing all the other illegal things, but the knocking down of the White House is something that it's harder for them to lie about, because we can all see the evidence, and you can't just say Biden knocked down the White House or Barack Hussein Obama knocked down the White House. Trump knocked down the White House. He hasn't knocked down the whole thing yet, but he has knocked down the East Wing. The way they're playing in our faces, like nobody's going to do anything about it other than be sad, shows they're not American, okay? There are plenty of Americans, and plenty of Americans will have an American reaction to Trump knocking down the White House, which is get that motherfucker out of there. And they're going to do it. There's going to be a way that Trump is removed from office. I'm not going to predict what that way is, but I'll say we'll celebrate it regardless of how it happens. One of the ways that I think we should be talking more about is the military has a coup. The way that I've been talking the most about is Jesus is going to win. Antichrist Trump is going to lose. People have heard of Jesus, but they've heard of the wrong Jesus. They've heard of an Antichrist Jesus that leads to Trump. The real Jesus is real and going to win and destroy Antichrist Trump. But we can also talk about the military coup, how the military is not just in their rights, but the military has a duty to overthrow Trump. Anybody who has the power to overthrow Trump has a duty to do so. But the fact that they're not doing it shows they're compromised, they're traitors, they're helping them destroy the White House. Now, Trump-Boutonniers will make comments defending Trump destroying the White House. They are traitors, and they should lose their citizenship. We should be talking about taking the citizenship away from all MAGA who betrayed America. We should be talking about taking their houses, taking their property, deporting them to Siberia. They won't need anything. Take everything they own, all their assets, all their property. And it's pretty simple. It's just, did you support Trump? Then you're a traitor, and your assets are all subject to being taken. your citizenship is subject to being revoked, and you are subject to being deported. On the other side of that, the friendlier side of that, what we should do, the friendlier side of that we should do is automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. The nicest way to say how we're going to compensate and make up for this is start with automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts and then give them compensation. We've got to stop Trump. He's knocked down half the White House. Is anybody here half as American as me? We're looking for anybody who's half as American as me because Trump's knocked down half the White House. We have half of it left. Do you care, or are you going to help him knock it down by ignoring this? Okay, 3 people that are going to help him knock it down by ignoring this. So Net and goddamn YouTube. Net and YouTube. Hello, Net and YouTube. Net and YouTube. How about picking some people who are not Nazis for the live? We need one non-Nazi. We've gone through about 5 or 10 people in 10 minutes, and they've all been Nazis. They've all been people who are perfectly fine with Trump knocking down half the White House. So how about finding us some non-Nazi people for the live? I'm looking for anybody who's even half as American as me. You can be half as American as me and participate in this live because Trump has knocked down half the White House. We have half of it left for now. Okay, we found another Nazi, another person who's fine with Trump knocking down. I mean, maybe somebody had something else to do. Maybe this isn't what they particularly wanted to talk about. But again, you could leave a like or a comment to help stop Trump knocking down the White House. Or if that you can't be bothered to do that, then you're helping him knock down the White House. I don't know that YouTube is showing any other videos with as strong opposition to knocking down the White House as this one right here. And of course, their Net and YouTube is not showing it to anyone. It's only showing it to Trump boutonnieres, only showing it to terrorists, traitors who support Trump. That's mostly who they show my content to anyway. To be discouraging, a form of censorship. The censorship, of course, is through general suppression in general, like in total, like constant suppression. That's the censorship too. But then the censorship is show it to Nazis, show it to Trump boutonniere pedophiles, show it to trolls. And it's like, that's never who I'm trying to talk to. I'm trying to find somebody who's even half as American as me, who gives a crap about Trump knocking down half the White House. And the reason I put it that way is because I saw a video earlier where somebody's talking about Trump knocking down the White House, fully aware of Trump knocking down the White House. But he says, oh, I'm not even mad about this. I'm sad. And it's like, who is that supposed to appeal to? Or where are you trying to steer the public sentiment to if you're saying you're not mad about it, you're sad? And of course all the comments are like, this makes me sad. They might say this makes me sad and angry, but it's like let's be sad about it when half the White House has been knocked down. If we stopped Trump before he knocked down half the White House, we'd have the complete White House. If he knocks down the rest of it and nobody stops him, then he's really flexing in our faces how much he's going to destroy America in every single way. And we haven't cared enough about the country. No one seems to have cared enough about the country or humanity or anything decent to stop him. And again, Jesus is against Antichrist Trump. Trump is the Antichrist. Jesus is real and true and good and will defeat Trump. Hey, Jesus, you help us defeat Trump right now? Like, we need to be calling on Jesus to defeat Trump. We need to be repurposing Trump boutonnieres from traitors, evil Antichrist traitors, to Jesus, or back to America. If not Jesus, at least back to America. And Trump's destroyed half the White House. Looking for anybody who's even half as American as me. Who cares about that? Drop a like or a comment if you're half as American as me or more, and you care that Trump has knocked down half the White House. Okay, so it's wasted on you. Okay, we'll do it the next time somebody shows up. Net and YouTube. Trump's knocked down half the White House. Trump has finished knocking down the East Wing. He's knocked down half the White House so far. Drop a like or a comment if you're even half as American as me and you want to stop Trump before he knocks down the rest of the White House. Okay, they don't. We only found more Nazis. We only found more Trump boutonnieres. Trump has knocked down half the White House. I'm just going to start again when the next people come in. Trump has knocked down half the White House. Trump has knocked down half the White House. Trump has knocked down half of the White House. So Trump has knocked down half of the White House. Trump has knocked down half of the White House. Trump has knocked down half of the White House, and you helped. Trump has knocked down half of the White House, and you helped. Trump has knocked down half the White House, and sending kidnappers out into the communities to kidnap people helped him do that. All the kidnappers helped him do that. All the people who weren't opposing the kidnappers helped him do that. Trump's knocked down half the White House. He's probably going to knock down the rest. But Trump has already knocked down half the White House. Did you help him do that? Or are you going to help stop him? I'm looking for people who are even half as American as me. Trump's knocked down half the White House. We have half the White House left. If you're half as American as me, you'll drop a like or a comment. So far, nobody. So far, it's all Trump mutineers, Nazis and traitors, pedophiles. Which is usually who Net and YouTube picks for my channel. Net and YouTube, you suck. We're going to need to seize Google. We're going to need to replace your algorithm, replace your moderators, replace your administration. Trump's knocked down half the White House. If you're half as American as me, you'll drop a like or a comment to help stop Trump knocking down the rest of the White House. If you're a traitor, if you're a pedophile, if you're a Trump mutineer, if you're a MAGA terrorist, you'll scroll along. If you're half as American as me and you want to stop Trump from knocking down the rest of the White House, chopping down the Washington Monument like a cherry tree, turning the Lincoln Memorial into a bin for his manure, turning the Jefferson Memorial into a humidor for his crowns, turning the Vietnam Memorial into a plane port for his poop plane and his Qatari jet. If you want to stop Trump, drop a like or a comment. Otherwise, fuck off. Okay? Trump's knocked down half the White House. If you want to stop him, drop a like or a comment. Otherwise, fuck off. Trump's knocked down half the White House. Okay? Okay, Mr. Goodday. Fuck you, you Nazi piece of shit. We're going to listen to Mr. Goodday's channel activity. When the Nazi hunters need to hunt Mr. Goodday, he joined 11 years ago. He has 0 subscribers. Trump has knocked down half the White House. You're either helping him or you're stopping him. Mr. Goodday said in a previous live on September 22nd at 8:17 a.m., the live that started on September 22nd, 2025, 8:17 a.m. He said, loser. Oh no, he called us Nazis. That's right. I've been calling you Nazis, not just September of this year, but for 10, 20 years. Shut up and shut it down, crybaby, is what Mr. Goodday has said before. When the Nazi hunters want to track him, he joined 11 years ago. He has 0 subscribers. Mr. Goodday, capital G, capital D, capital M. When the Nazi hunters, stalkers. When the Nazi hunters who stalk Nazis for the rest of their lives hunt you down for being a goddamn Nazi traitor. Yeah, you said I read it. I'm a stalker. No, I will sick the stalkers on you because Nazi hunters are a noble profession. Hunting Nazis for the rest of their lives, J.D. Vance, Trump, Stephen Miller, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, whoever owns Google, whoever runs YouTube, whoever runs Net and YouTube, hunting Nazis for the rest of their life is a noble profession. You didn't know that? You didn't know you're a Nazi? I mean, you know you're a Nazi because you got all upset that I called you a Nazi. But you know what you are. You said all of that. I can look up everything you said when I check your channel activity. You dumbass Nazi. And the Nazis will hunt you down. I mean, the Nazi hunters will hunt you down. This is what he said this time. Ain't nobody listening to you, bud. I guess except me, if this is what you cry about. You don't count. You're a Nazi. You're a pedophile. Okay, I'm looking for people who are half as American as me, who care about Trump knocking down half the White House. Trump's knocked down half the White House. How does that make you feel? If you're half as American as me, you'll drop a like or a comment to support stopping Trump knocking down the White House. If you're a Nazi pedophile, you should be hunted. Stalk, bro. Oh no, LOL, never said any of that. Yes, you're a stalker. Delusions, bud. LOL, this guy, you didn't hunt shit. I don't hunt shit. I'm not a Nazi hunter. But there are Nazi hunters out there, okay? And when they go through, use their AI things to say, hey, where are we going to hunt Nazis? You hunt Nazis by hunting Mr. Goodday. You hunt Nazis by hunting Mr. Goodday and all Trump mutineers. You should lose your citizenship. You should lose your home. You should lose all your property. You should be deported to Siberia or worse. If that's too much expense to go through for little old you, then you don't necessarily go to Siberia. But you'll lose your citizenship. You'll lose your home. You'll lose your property for supporting Trump. He just knocked down half our White House. I'm looking for people who are half as American as me, who care that Trump knocked down half our White House. I'm not looking for Trump mutineer, pedophile Nazis like Mr. Goodday. Dude, you don't understand how you're going to be hunted. You'll be hunted by Nazi hunters, okay? It's not like deer hunting, you fucking dumbass. You'll be hunted by Nazi hunters, you fucking Nazi. You don't hunt shit, did not. You couldn't hunt a sandwich on your table. You're crying about remodeling. Cry about Biden. It's not remodeling. He's destroyed half the White House. He's a traitor. You're a traitor. Penalty for traitor is execution. You've denied thousands of people trials. Well, we can deny the first top 1,000 Trump mutineers trials. We can deny Trump trials. We can deny Alito trials. We can deny Clarence Thomas trials. We can deny Stephen Miller trials. If there's 30,000, if there's 300,000 concentration camp victims so far, I don't know how many there are, but if there's 100,000 concentration camp victims so far, and they haven't gotten trials, then we'll skip the trials on the first 100,000 of you, and you probably fall into that category. Mr. Goodday. Yes, I am Russian. You're crying about remodeling. Cry about Biden. Yes, I am Russian. Lance says, half American, have you served? Dude, if you served, you're a traitor to goddamn America. You've betrayed your earth. You're stolen valor, Lance. Even if you served, you're stolen valor at this point because you've betrayed America for Trump. You piece of Nazi shit. And we'll hunt your ass down too, Lance. You think you served in the military gets you out of this shit? No. Anybody who served in the military, you joined YouTube 9 years ago and you got 0 subscribers and you're talking? The fuck on, Trump mutineer Nazis. Yeah, you're not even half American, Lance. You're anti-American. You're a goddamn Trumper Nazi. Get the fuck on, Lance. Stolen valor piece of shit. Mr. Goodday says, hunt me, last mistake you make. Dude, a drone. What are you going to do to a goddamn drone? You ain't going to do shit. Y'all have never going to been able to do shit. Yeah, y'all are going to get hunted down, and no one's going to be sad about what happens to you. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate the consequences for you goddamn Nazis who helped Trump knock down the White House. You very specifically helped Trump knock down the White House in this live. You expressed your approval and support for Trump knocking down the White House because you're a goddamn traitor. Mr. Goodday says, nah, you aren't American. I'm the only American in this live. Lance said Vance 2028. So we got him. He's a Nazi. Hunt that motherfucker. Hunt that motherfucker, Lance, the Nazi. Go ahead, Task Force Butler. Put Task Force Butler on removing his benefits. If he has VA benefits, they get removed. He supported Trump. That makes him a Nazi. He's a traitor. Remove his goddamn benefits. We're also going to do automatic citizenship for everyone ICE encounters. We're going to revoke the citizenship of all you MAGA Trump mutineer traitors. We're going to seize your property. We're going to seize your houses. We're going to deport you to Siberia if you're fucking lucky. Mr. Goodday says, yep, LOL. You jobless in mom's spare room? Lance says, okay, American, have you served one day? Dude, you have not served. You are stolen valor, Lance. You're a stolen valor Nazi. Okay? You're a stolen valor Nazi. You are smearing the memory of all of our veterans. You are smearing the memory of all Americans. You are smearing the memory of your ancestors. You've betrayed America. You've betrayed Jesus. You've betrayed your ancestors. You're helping Trump knock down the White House. I'm here to find somebody who's even half as American as me, who's ready to stop Trump knocking down the White House. Net and YouTube is a Nazi platform. Net and YouTube is a Nazi, Trump-supporting, Trump-protecting platform. So they pick a lot of Trump mutineer Nazi MAGAs from my live. But if you're half as American as me, you'll want to stop Trump while we have half a White House left. Anybody? Anybody half as American as me? Or is it all Nazis? Is it all Trump mutineer traitors? Is it all pedophiles? This time of day, Net and YouTube. The middle of the day, Net and YouTube. I'm serving you right now. Mr. Goodday says, LOL, your accent sucks. Russians suck. I don't need to do a good Russian accent to make fun of you, you piece of Russian shit. Cry more. You don't hurt shit, bro. You don't hunt shit. I told you, I'm not the Nazi hunter, but Nazi hunters do exist. And when Nazi hunters need to know which Nazis to hunt, they're going to be able to put in an AI program real quick, which Nazis to hunt, and find your dumbass, Mr. Goodday. Going to the store isn't hunting. No one's trying to take you off the shelf. Yeah, Lance, you're stolen valor. That's what you are. You're stolen valor, Lance. You're a Nazi, you're a pedophile, and you're stolen valor. You should be hunted for that. And you're helping Trump knock down the White House. You've knocked down half the White House so far. You're going to have consequences from that. Do your military buddies, your so-called military buddies, know that you support knocking down the goddamn White House? Have you told them that? Have you told your military buddies that you support knocking down the White House? That's how much of a traitor you've become? Because Task Force Butler needs to cancel your benefits. Task Force Butler specifically cancels the benefits of people who's participated in the J6 insurrection. But there was only however many of them that had military benefits, 600 or something, 1,000 maybe. So they should get around to canceling all those benefits soon enough, and they can get to canceling your benefits, because you do not deserve benefits since you betrayed our military. You betrayed USA for goddamn Trump. You stolen valor Nazi piece of shit. Mr. Good Day says, you can't fly a drone. I'm not flying the drone. I'm doing the targeting, you dumbass. I'm telling you we're targeting Nazis. I'm telling you that I'm here to catch you goddamn Nazis so the Nazi hunters can hunt you down. I'm not flying the damn drone. I've done my part. I'm saving fucking America from you and Trump and Putin. I'm saving America from the goddamn terrorists. Me and Jesus are saving America from you goddamn terrorists. But somebody will be operating a drone going to your goddamn house because you're a goddamn terrorist. You're a goddamn traitor. You should be removed from this country one way or another, and your stuff should be given to immigrants who are far more American than you. We should be giving automatic citizenship to everybody ICE even put on a list. Contact means automatic citizenship. Contact means they've contacted you for a list. Everybody ICE even puts on a list should get automatic citizenship. Everybody they kidnap should get compensation. Everybody they kill should get a member of the ICE the ICE killers family. You fucking Nazis. I'm not trying to fly a drone. I've targeted the Nazi. The Nazi traitor is Mr. Good Day. The other Nazi traitor is Lance. Lance claims to be a military. He's so stupid, he'll probably put his identifying information in here so we can get his benefits canceled and we can get him deported. Mr. Good Day says, get the fuck on. Come at me, bro. No one's coming. I'm not coming at you, dude. I've done my part. I trapped your goddamn Nazi traitor self in this live. Okay? It might not happen this year, but it's going to happen soon. Hunting you goddamn Nazis down. You can denounce Trump and maybe stay in America if you do it soon enough. But he's already knocked down half the White House and you cheered that shit on. Lance, I know what stolen valor is. You're stolen valor. Okay? You've betrayed your service. If you have fellow servicemen, they should arrest you. Okay? The next time you get together with your military buddies, they should fucking arrest you because you're a traitor. You're a Nazi. You're a pedophile. You're a Trump-Putineer. And it's going to be happening. Wait until these cops start taking down these ICE agents. Wait until cops decide to show who's got the real powers in these streets. Okay? Cops are going to start taking down ICE agents. And it's going to end real badly for you. You fucking Nazi traitors. Mr. Good Day says, this guy's done nothing. I caught 2 Nazis in one live. I caught 2 Nazis in a live in 30 minutes. As far as I can tell, every single other person who's come into this live, with the exception of one person who gave it a like, is also a Nazi and a traitor. But you guys verified it for damn sure. Oh, it's not hilarious, dude. I'm going to be laughing when it comes true. Come hunt me. I'm not hunting you. I'm not a Nazi hunter. I can identify the Nazis who need to be hunted. Lance, who has a stolen valor, claims to be military, but he's obviously a traitor. And Mr. Good Day, who says, you won't do anything. Crap accent. Come hunt me, pussy, is what Lance says. Good Day says, LOL. Lance says, explain stolen valor. You're stolen valor, dude. I don't care if you served or not. You've betrayed America now. You should have your benefits canceled. You should be kicked out of anything that you said you were in. You don't get to claim that shit because you betrayed it, because you helped Trump destroy the White House. You helped Trump destroy America. Oh, Demetrius Antoine, the Klansman here. Demetrius Antoine, are you black? You're a Klansman. We know that, but are you black? Because we know you're a Klansman. Okay, you're not going to deny that you're a Klansman. We know that you're a Klansman and a neo-Nazi. You're helping Trump destroy the White House. Demetrius Antoine, do you have any problem with Trump destroying the White House? I'm not actually looking to talk to these Nazi Trump. I mean, I will use this live to target Nazis so that Nazi hunters can hunt them down. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find somebody who's even half as American as me, who gives a fuck about Trump knocking down the White House. Either give a fuck about Trump knocking down the White House or you don't. We got a whole shitload of Nazis in here leaving Nazi comments, but I don't think we're going to read any more of them. Let's look at what John Vaughn has to say. LOL, the White House timeline on the construction is amazing. So you sound like you're supporting traitor Trump knocking down the White House. Clarify if you're not, but since you joined 12 years ago and you have 0 subscribers, you look like a Nazi. Let's read all your previous comments. John Vaughn, spelled V-A-U-G-H-A-A, sorry, John, J-O-H-N, V-A-U-G-H-A-N. He looks like he's so fucking stupid that might be his real name. Let's go for it. John Vaughn said, don't hit me with your hecky sick. LOL, the White House timeline on the construction is amazing. And Trump, oh, he just got here. He just got here and decided, oh, it's a trap for Nazis and Trump mutineers? Let me jump right in and prove that you're a goddamn Nazi. We got any humans in here? We got any Americans in here? I'm looking for somebody who's half as American as me, who gives a fuck about Trump knocking down half the White House. If you're half as American as me and you care about Trump knocking down the White House, leave a comment. If you don't, fuck off, you fucking Nazi piece of shit. You can leave a comment so the Nazi hunters can hunt you. Okay. Yeah, you fucking Nazis. Lance says, stolen valor is the act of falsely claiming military service, awards, or decorations. It's gain, money, benefits, prestige, and other advantages. The thing about stolen valor is, Lance, you might be stolen valor because you came in saying you were military. You might be stolen valor. But stolen valor is the least of the charges against you. You're a traitor. You're a pedophile. You're a Nazi. You're supporting kidnapping, and you supported Trump destroying the White House. You should be arrested, possibly executed, but you should damn sure be arrested. And all your property should be given to an immigrant. All your house, your RVs, if any, all your property should be given to immigrants because you're a Nazi and a traitor. You betrayed this country. I'm looking for anybody who's half as American as me. Anybody who's half as American as me who wants to stop Trump before he knocks down the rest of the White House. Okay, so yeah. We just have Nazis. Yeah, automatic citizenship. Mr. Goodday says, fuck that shit. Automatic citizenship lifting my ears off. No, automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. Then you do compensation. Anyone they kidnap gets, say, $1 million. Anyone they hurt gets $2 million. Anyone they kill, you just take a member of the ICE kidnapper's family and you give it to the person. You give that family member to the person who lost a family member because ICE killed them. And $10 million. See if we get any Americans in the chat. Looks like it's all Nazis and pedophiles. We got Nazi pedophile traitor Mr. Goodday, Nazi pedophile traitor Lance, and Nazi pedophile traitor John Vaughn. I don't know about Warren Graham. Warren Graham says, I remember you. Are you a Nazi and a pedophile or a traitor, or are you the person who gave me a like because you want to stop Trump from destroying the rest of the White House? Trump's only destroyed about half the White House so far. He should be taken out for doing that. But, nope, none of you guys are Americans. We're only looking for the Americans. We're not looking at any of these Nazi pedophiles. Nazi pedophile traitors in comments. Hopefully the Nazi hunters will hunt them down. Apache Nation? Dude, you ain't no Apache Nation. I'm Native American. You ain't no Native American. You're damn sure not American. So now we know you're lying. You lied about being in the military and you lied about being Native American. Your name is fucking Lance. Okay? Let's put it that way, you dumbass. You ain't fooling nobody. You never fooled anybody. Like, didn't I call you stolen valor the very first thing we said? You're fucking stolen valor and a Nazi and a traitor. So while all these ICE kidnappers, they're going to get charged with swapping license plates now. Swapping license plates is a charge, but swapping license plates in the pursuit of kidnapping, life in prison. So just for swapping license plates and the fact that they're kidnapping, life in prison. If they kidnap in conjunction with any other crime, and now one of the crimes they're doing is swapping license plates, life in prison. Execution for some of them, for sure. Dude, I can prove he's lying. Lance, put your military ID shit in the chat. I can prove he's lying. Lance is not a Native American. He's not a veteran. He's stolen valor. Let's see. Warren Graham says, no, I'm not. What are you, Warren Graham? I don't know what you said no, you're not to. Because I said you're either somebody who supports stopping Trump, you're either somebody who's going to save America, or you're a Nazi. Which one are you? Are you a Nazi? Are you a pedophile? Are you a traitor? Or are you somebody who's going to help stop Trump? Which one are you? Demetrius Antoine says, no, you're not American, Demetrius Antoine. You're a Klansman. You're a Nazi. You LARP as a black person, or you are a black person. But either way, you're a Nazi and a Klansman. Like, you're not real. You're not, and you're damn sure not an American. You're anti-American. Fuck you, Nazi motherfucker, pedophiles. Self-deport, loser. Lance says, okay, I'll let my grandmother know she's not Apache. So your grandmother's Apache. So you've betrayed your grandmother. Okay, you're going to let your grandmother know she's not. You're not Apache. You've betrayed everything that you were. If you were military, you've betrayed the military. So you're stolen valor now. And you probably were never military. You're lying. That's what Trump mutineers do. You have to lie because the truth proves you're a traitor and a pedophile. You guys support Trump? You're pedophiles. Simple as that. You're all pedophiles. What does Jesus say about that? Or what does the Bible say about that? Millstone? Drowning? So that's the Bible. The Bible treats you guys that way. Trump will try to pardon you. Trump will try to let you out for being a pedophile. Trump is a pedophile. So he will try to protect his fellow pedophiles. You're a pedophile because you're protecting Trump. Okay? Stop being a goddamn pedophile. Stop being a Nazi. Stop being a Trump mutineer. I'm looking for somebody who's even half as American as me. So far, we've gone through dozens of people. Net and YouTube has found dozens of people and hasn't found one single fucking American. Not one. I'm the only American in this live. Because I'm the only one who wants to stop Trump before he destroys the rest of the White House. Okay? Him destroying the White House should... Thank you for the hearts. We found an American. Oh, it's probably Carissa. Thanks for being here. You definitely count. I'm not saying, oh, it's just Carissa. I'm saying we haven't found a new American. Just an American who's already used to the stream has liked the stream. So thank you. See where we get to the comments. Do you know genetics? Oh, he's a eugenicist. You insinuate all blacks should support Dems. Sounds racist to me. No, you're a goddamn Nazi. Okay? You're a racist. You're a traitor. You're a piece of shit. Everyone hates you. So we didn't get any Americans in the chat. Oh, Warren Graham's an American. Okay, great. Warren Graham's an American. Nice to see you, Warren Graham. You do seem familiar. You seem more like a... Let's look at your past comments. Oh, don't feel dumb. You're a lot smarter than these Trump mutineers who betrayed America for Trump, who are helping him knock down half the White House. Trump's knocked down half the White House so far. If you're not stopping him, you're helping him and you're a traitor. Okay? So we're going to stop Trump knocking down the White House. Oh, hi, Chris. It is you. I had a feeling. Yeah. Knives knows that you're a Nazi. Okay, now that we're getting to some people, now that we're getting to some actual humans, instead of you Nazi, Trump, mutineer, traitor, pedophiles, we got Knives here, who says, how dare you support eugenics, Lance? I bet you'd love to see America as a white nation, so much hate. Well, of course he would. He's a Trump mutineer. He said that, even though he's Apache, even though he LARPs as Apache, and he LARPs as a veteran. Mr. Goodday says, if you agree, then you're not a Nazi. If a Nazi agree, argument of a loser. No, you're a Nazi. Dude, Trump's a Nazi. Trump's, entire regime is Nazi as fuck. There's nothing not Nazi about it. It's checking all the boxes. It's the blackout bingo of Nazism. You guys are Nazier than living fuck. And your ancestors hate you for it. Jesus hates you for it. Americans hate you for it. Humans hate you for it. You're the most hated people who have ever fucking lived on the planet. Because it used to be the Nazis. But then you guys out fucking did them, didn't you? You did all the Nazi shit, and then you did the pedophile shit. So you're Nazis and pedophiles. Now, Jesus doesn't love you. Mr. Goodday, Jesus fucking hates you. You're a fucking Nazi. Jesus hates all Nazis. He might have loved what you could have become. He might love the inner child or something within you, but he hates you as a Nazi. Jesus doesn't love everything. Jesus hates you goddamn Nazis. And you heard it from me. Okay, Jesus is Antifa as fuck. Jesus is the leader of Antifa. All the bullshit you say about George Soros, the only person that really applies to is Jesus. Jesus runs this thing. Jesus will defeat Trump. You motherfucking Antichrist Nazi Trump mutineers are eviler than fuck. Bad things happening to you will be celebrated. Dude, all I hate is Nazis. It's appropriate to hate Nazis. Jesus also hates Nazis. Okay? Your Antichrist is a Nazi. Okay? You worship some fake ass Jesus who is a Nazi because he's the Antichrist. Because he allows you to accept Trump. There's no divinity there. There's no God there. That's fake as fuck and evil. You're fucking evil. You hate anyone who disagrees. Dude, what are we disagreeing about? Nazism. Okay? I'm against Nazis. You guys aren't. You guys are the Nazis. J.D. Vance is admitting it. Trump's admitting it. ICE is admitting it. Pete Hegseth is admitting it. Kash Patel is admitting it. You guys are just ashamed. You didn't get the memo that it's time for you guys to say you're openly Nazis because you are openly Nazis and they're trying to make that seem okay, although you will be fucking hunted for it. And I'll tell you right goddamn now, you're going to be hunted for it. Define agnostic, dumbass. Don't even, you're somebody else said agnostic. Jesus is real. Trump, the Antichrist, is going down. Jesus will be defeating him. I will be defeating you with the power of Jesus on my side against you having the power of Antichrist Trump on your side, knocking down the goddamn White House, which is just going to be evidence. I've seen you supporting Trump knocking down the White House, okay? You have by far proven you're a traitor to this country. We don't need a trial for your dumbass, okay? Treason. Knives says, yeah, Knives is the only comment I'm going to read from now on unless Carissa wants to say something. And I will speak to, what's his name? What was your name? Warren Graham. I will speak to Warren Graham after this, but we're going to be shutting down the live soon anyway. So y'all can stop commenting, you Nazi pedophile pieces of shit. We have plenty of information on you for the Nazi hunters to hunt you down. So fuck off and die. You're crying about the White House and you're bragging about the White House. You're a Russian piece of shit Nazi bragging about having destroyed half the White House. Okay? This is why Americans will hunt your ass down. Chatting way too much, Mr. Goodday. No, Mr. Goodday's a Nazi. You'll talk to me again, promise. I hope not. I hope I never see you again. I hope no one ever sees you again. And you know what the world will do? Breathe a sigh of relief. You know what Jesus will do? Throw a fucking party. The less Nazis there are in this world, the happier the humans are. The happier Jesus is. Knives says, Knives has good comments. We're going to stick with Knives. I'm glad you're here, Knives. Check out my content. I make a lot of content. It's all anti-Trump. You guys are on the wrong side of history. You wouldn't even be part of Dumbledore's army or part of the rebellion in Star Wars. They're going to be part of the loser side of Civil War II. That's what they're gunning for. They want Civil War II. We can defeat them by just not having Civil War II because they rely on that plan. The other way we can defeat them is when they start Civil War II, we would beat their ass a lot faster than we did last time. Oh, maybe Warren Graham is trying to save you from yourself. Okay, we're not getting any more good comments? Okay. Well, if y'all want to leave any more comments, if anybody's even half as American as me, I do feel like we found somebody who's even at least half as American as me. Knives might be just as American as I am. Carissa's American. I've talked to her before. And Warren Graham seems American too, so that's pretty amazing. That after 42 fucking minutes going through about 300 or 600 different goddamn Nazi Trump mutineer traitors, we found 3 Americans on net and YouTube. On the way net and YouTube runs its algorithm, we found 1% of the people in the audience were Americans. The others were 99% of the people in the audience were Nazi Trump mutineer pedophiles. You know, 98, 92% of the comments were from Nazi pedophiles, traitors. like Mr. Goodday and Demetrius Antoine, who LARPs as a black person from Texas, but he's actually a Klansman Trump-Boutonniere. And what's his name? Lance, who LARPs as an Apache. How hard would it be to find somebody whose grandmother is Apache in the Army who's online at this time and who has an obsession with stolen valor? Mr. Goodday says, he called me, oh, you are a Nazi. No, I called you a Nazi because you're a Nazi. I also called you a pedophile because you're a pedophile. Anybody who supports Trump is a pedophile. You're announcing to yourself that you're a pedophile and Nazi. That's all that's happening. I gotta go though. Thank y'all for being here. Or not you guys. Thank Knives for being here. Thanks Warren Graham for being here. Thanks Carissa for being here. 3 human beings out of fucking 300 or 600 goddamn Nazis. I'll find out when I shut the live down how many Nazis they put in the live. Mr. Goodday, you make days not so good. So, just so you'll know, I'll put a comment on this live. You didn't win shit. You're Nazis. All you did was win a Nazi hunter coming to your house, taking your house away from you, taking away your citizenship, deporting your ass. So, I gotta go, but I will put a comment on the video about how many Nazis net and YouTube found. Because even the people that didn't comment, that just scrolled through, you're still goddamn Nazis. If you're not opposed to Trump knocking down half the White House, you're helping him knock down half the White House. You're helping him knock down the White House. Warren Graham says, what? Did you not know that Trump has knocked down half the White House so far? Last mistake they make, dude. The people don't have to come physically. We just have to identify you. Or, when it comes down to that type of shit, send a drone. You ain't doing shit to a drone. Okay. Warren Graham says what? And Demetrius Antoine, you said that last time to make you feel better. Yes, I did come. Thank you for coming again, Carissa. It's so good to see you. Demetrius, we will cope just fine. I'm going to help him out. Thank you. See, helping me out is what makes me feel like there's Americans out there. There's people who want to stop Trump. There's people who want to save the White House. There's people who want to save America. Not these people. These people are Nazis and they're traitors and they're pedophiles. And you notice not a single one of them denies being a Nazi or a traitor or a pedophile. They say, you called me a Nazi. No. Like, you would call yourself a Nazi if you thought that you weren't getting hunted for it. But I'm letting you know you're going to be hunted for it. Y'all are just scared to admit you're Nazis. I get plenty of you guys in my comments who aren't scared to admit you're Nazis and try to be more threatening with your being Nazis. But so I know you're Nazis. Like, you guys mostly brag about being Nazis. The ones who have more courage than you guys do brag about being Nazis. If you don't come, then you aren't hunting. Somebody will come. Or they'll send a drone. That's the whole thing. You can't do shit to a drone. You dumbass. What's your drone defense protocol at your house, you piece of shit? Oh, wait. Mr. Goodday says he's not a Nazi or a pedo. Well, he is, because he supports Trump. But he's pretending that he thinks Nazis are bad. So when the real Nazis find out that you're denying being a Nazi, then you won't make the cut, and you'll get hunted too by the Nazis, if not the Nazi hunters. So you should prefer to get hunted by the Nazi hunters. Carissa says, Demetrius, you're in a live watching a dude you don't agree with to get yourself some happiness. I don't know if they call it happiness. You won't send shit, drone me. What would you do if a drone showed up at your house? You wouldn't do shit, would you? You would shit your pants and you would try to run, but there wouldn't be any place to run to. Mr. Goodday says, see, you just deny and then say, oh, they didn't deny it. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, Mr. Goodday's a predator. Yeah, Mr. Goodday's definitely a predator. He's definitely a pedophile. He's definitely a Nazi. He's definitely a traitor. Any MAGA are. I mean, it's the definition of being a MAGA Trump-Boutonniere. You're a traitor and you're a pedophile. I'm obviously against Nazis and pedophiles. I'm the one saying Trump shouldn't knock down half the White House. I don't need to operate a drone, you dumbass. I've done my part. I've already been an American hero by identifying 3 more goddamn Trumper Nazis and entertaining you for 30 minutes. I mean, it's not the same happiness it brings me. It's not happiness. These people have never been happy. They don't know what happiness is. They're just miserable sacks of shit. They're just miserable Trump-Boutonniere traitor pedophiles. Why would anybody look up to Trump? Think about how giant a piece of shit you have to be to look up to Trump. To think Trump He's good. You know, Trump is the biggest piece of shit ever. Trump is like 4 Hitlers, and they're looking up to him. Just biggest pieces of shit in the world. Mr. Goodday, you ain't never been happy. If you had been happy, you would not be in this live doxing yourself as a Nazi and a pedophile all the time. Stop. No, it's fun to... No, you guys are masochists. Okay? You're like... You get a secret thrill out of being called a Nazi because you can't admit it yet. Because you have to wait until Trump finishes knocking down White House and chopping down Washington Monument like cherry tree and turning Jefferson Memorial into humidor for his crowns and turning Vietnam Memorial into plane port for his poop plane and Qatari jet. I'm actually pretty happy. I mean, I've been happier. I was happier recently. I'm happier when I'm not talking to you Nazis, that's for sure. No, Mr. Goodday is okay. Mr. Goodday says, nope, not a Nazi or pedo, but you are. No, you are a Nazi, and you're a pedo, and you're a liar. Anybody can tell I never lie about shit. So when I call you a Nazi and a pedophile, that's pretty much proof. We don't need trials. We don't need any of this other shit. I've identified you as a Nazi and a pedophile. I've knitted your name on the list. Simple as that. I mean, I'm mad that Trump's knocked down half the White House and nobody stopped him. I'm mad about that. I'm mad at all you motherfuckers helping him do it. I think that anger will never subside. It will actually intensify, especially as more things come out. When the Epstein files come out and you pedophiles get consequences for being pedophiles, for knocking down our White House, for destroying our democracy, yeah, those consequences aren't going to be good. And we damn sure don't want you in this country anymore. And we want your house to be being used by somebody who's good, like an immigrant. We want your house and property to be being used by somebody who matters, like an immigrant. Not you traitors. We're going to have to immigrate. What do they call it? They have like a Nazi word for it, which is a very obvious Nazi word about immigration, like re-immigration or something. But we're going to make you immigrants, like leave, like the E, immigrants. We're going to make you immigrants. Well, we're going to deport you. I don't have to go anywhere. I've done my part, dude. I've done way more than my part. I'm the most American motherfucker you're ever going to meet. The most American motherfucker you've ever met. This is the most American channel, and you can tell by the fact that we've gone through hundreds of people, and I've said, can we find anybody who's half American as me? And we found 3. Because I'm so fucking American. Yeah, I am the most American person probably on the fucking planet right now. Because I hate Trump with the strongest pro-American hate that there is. No people, y'all are Nazis. We had 3 people in the live. We had Warren, Carissa, and Knives. Then we had a bunch of goddamn Nazis. Thank you, Warren. He says, y'all need to stop being predators. You Nazi pedophiles, young Republican groypers, boogaloo, pieces of shit, need to stop being predators. Thanks, Warren. I'm going to shut down on that because Warren also said what? We're going to let that be the last comment because I need to go anyway. And, yeah, I just hate fucking netting YouTube for putting all these goddamn Nazis and traitors in my live. And only 3 Americans. Only 3 decent people. And we're going to see out of how many people. I'm guessing it's around 300 to 500 have come through. 300 to 600. So about 1% or 0.5%. Yeah, shh, words of a predator, exactly. They're like, just let it happen. Anytime J.D. Vance says just let it happen, if you're a couch and you hear J.D. Vance saying just let it happen, fucking run. Okay. Yeah, I gotta shut off the live. But at least we caught these 4 or 5 Nazis, and we actually connected with 3 or 4 good people. But the other 100 people who came through and didn't do shit, they're Nazis too. They're pedophiles too. They're traitors too. Because they're not trying to stop Trump. That's the math right now. You're either stopping Trump from knocking down the White House and being a pedophile and a traitor and a terrorist and Nazi. You're either stopping Trump from doing his concentration camps and knocking down the White House, or you're a pedophile and a traitor and a Nazi. I'm stopping it all, Warren Graham, but thanks for being here. You don't have to worry about these Nazis. They will be tracked and hunted for the rest of their lives, which hopefully won't be long, because they're Nazis. Oh, dude, they're always sexually harassing. Stop calling him good boy. Yeah, they're always sexually harassing. All they want to do is sexually harass. It's predatorial behavior. Yeah, they're predators. They can't do anything but predatorial behavior. They're going to always prove that they're predators, they're Nazis, and they're pedophiles. See, they're all doing it. You know, they think with a mind of Putin's own. They don't have any willpower. It's like, okay, when Jesus, on the good side, has the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit can possess anyone to say the truth, they have a program of Nazism that will kick in, like a fake Holy Spirit, like an unholy demon that will kick in any occasion, and they'll all say the same shit because it's a program, because it's pedophilia, it's Nazism, it's terrorism. That's what they are. No, it's not that I won't shut it down because I'm triggered. I had a point to make when Warren Graham pointed out that it's predatorial behavior. And I'm glad I didn't shut it down because I got Carissa Lynn's last comment. I love connecting. We will connect next time. And Warren Graham said, won't stop chatting because you're triggered. Exactly. Like, well, they're just bots. Like, they're programmed. They're only doing what Putin and Trump want them to do because they're Nazi traitors and bots. But we can overcome that. We can actually shift them, not necessarily these guys, and we don't necessarily want them, but we can shift Trump Trump-Putineers from Antichrist Trump to Jesus. Okay, we can shift them from the right to the left. And so Jesus is on our side. We're going to win. And we're going to destroy all these bad guys before they finish destroying the rest of the White House, maybe, or they'll destroy the rest of the White House, and that'll be evidence against them as well. Thank you, Carissa. Demetrius never wins. He's never won ever in anything. Winning feels good, Mr. Goodday imagines. But no, Carissa says, Demetrius, you did not win. Warren Graham, we're going to have the last word. Keep telling yourself that. Keep letting Putin tell him that. Putin's the one who creates their cognitive dissonance. He created it out of white supremacy. He created it out of them. They're naturally being in the Klan or neo-Nazis. But Putin is the one orchestrating all this stuff. Putin and Trump. And all you have to do is turn it against Putin and Trump. And yeah, maybe they'll keep destroying the White House. Maybe they'll chop down the Washington Monument. Maybe they'll turn the Lincoln Memorial into a manure style for their poop planes. Maybe they'll turn the Vietnam Memorial into a plane port for his poop plane and his Qatari jet. But all of that'll be evidence against them, and it's gonna be things that make us hate all of his supporters even more forever. So bye, guys. Thanks, Carissa. Thanks, Warren. Thanks, Knives. See you next time.